Welcome back to Rebuild Rescue. So today we're going to be sending these props out to the overhaul shop to get just checked out, to get resealed. We have a whole bunch of engine components that Joe had packaged up, got ready. They're going out as well, and we're going to be putting some engines on the 401. Let's get at it. Yeah. We got to get better at. Let's try that again. Oh man! So let's get these things out of the box. We'll get them sat down, I think would be the goal, and then I think we drag these boxes out somewhere. So if you guys look, there's a whole bunch of oil in the bottom of this crate. What that tells me is, you know, obviously there was some oil in the prop. These were overhauled and then they were put in these boxes for storage, but that was 10 years ago. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to take them out of the boxes. They're going over to the prop shop. They're going to get looked over. They're going to get resealed, re-oiled, re-greased, so they're 100% ready. And man, do we have a bunch of stuff going out to all kinds of different overhaul shops. We have a bunch of engine components. We had a few of them that we had to kind of relocate because, well, we got stuff all over all kinds of hangars. You know, there was just getting pieces and parts from different places, and we had to get them all together to send out. But now they're all out. They are all getting rebuilt as we speak, and they're going to be ready to go soon.
Prop number 2.
Hey Joe, how's tearing these boxes working out for you?
Well, there's a whole lot of glue, a whole lot of screws, and a whole lot of staples. So
You can get the heavy side.
yeah.
Bye, Mr. Propeller. I'll miss you.
All right.
You don't have any issue taking flight going down the highway in this thing?
Sadly,
He's never heard that before.
never once.
Ooh, this is a lot heavier. All right, got one more. Yeah, these are at least, this has to be 30% heavier than the Saratoga prop.
Looks like it'll take off.
Yeah, right?
You never get that.
First thing we said when we came out. All right, you're good to go? Thank you. All right, so East Coast Propeller just stopped by. They picked up the Saratoga prop because we're getting new de-ice boots put on it. And they picked up both the props for the 401. And we did go ahead and decide that we're going to totally overhaul the 401 props. It's going to be a lot more money, but they're going to be brand new. Can't wait to see them.
It seems like it took weeks to gather up all the parts we needed. The de-icing system is complex, not to mention the various fuel injection components. I realized that we could have just installed the cleaned up parts in the 401, and I'm sure it would have been fine, but not for the Phoenix. This bird needs to be right.
So before we get started on getting the engines cleaned up and get them mounted here in the engine bay, we have to go ahead and we have to get some of this grime that's just kind of sitting here from before. We had the 401. Yeah, wait, this is the 402. So we got to get some of this grime off these wings that just kind of got there from sitting. There's a little bit of oil, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to scrub that all out. There's also some loose primer. So we're going to get all this loose primer off. We'll go ahead and touch up any of those areas. Now, normally, a factory 401 or 402, this would just all be aluminum. It wouldn't be zinc chromated. So we're already doing so much better by having this primed. But again, some of the primer's loose, so we'll get that off there. And then we'll go ahead, we'll touch it up. And then these are going to be ready to get the engines set back down in here. So as it turns out, the primer actually had kind of became detached anywhere where there was oils that contacted the primer. One of the things that we found with zinc chromate is it does a really good job of sticking to clean surfaces, clean aluminum, but it's not impervious to solvents or especially oils and stuff like that. So wherever the oil was sitting, it kind of soaked into the zinc chromate, and that's what blew off. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get a bucket. We're gonna clean this all up as much as possible, and then we'll come back, we'll treat these areas, we'll re-zinc chromate any of those areas, and it'll be good to go to be ready for the engine installation. This engine cradle, it has some loose zinc chromate, again, wherever there was oils, but it's so much cleaner than the other side. This was the wing that was turned upside down on that wing cradle, and it kept it protected. Nothing dripped on it. There's no dirt on it, and the zinc chromate is pretty much perfect. There's really not much we're gonna have to do to this side except for touch this up a little bit, maybe scrub it a tiny bit, and get some of this stuff off there, and then get the engine on here.
The engine cradle was cleaned up and would make any military airplane envious of its new paint job. Most of this will be covered up by the engine and its components, but it's nice to know that under it all, she'll be protected for years to come.
So we had a change of pace here with the Saratoga. We had decided that since this did have a prop strike, we weren't going to do this. We weren't going to send the whole thing out and have the whole thing IRAN to have it all inspected. But we decided this is a high dollar airplane. It's got a lot of moving parts. I mean, Shag was here. I can't believe you got this off that quick, for one. That was amazing. But yeah, we're going to send it out. We're going to have the crank all Magnaflux, check for cracks, just the whole thing. We're gonna have the whole thing going over. This is gonna be a good missions airplane, so we're spending a lot of extra time and a lot of extra money on it too, but it'll be right. The other thing it's gonna let us do is now we can clean all of this up. We can get this engine mount painted. We can just clean all this stuff off. I think we're gonna strip everything off the firewall here and put new material on here. So we'll go ahead, we'll clean this all up. We'll get this we'll get all new baffling in here. We found a couple different pieces that, you know, could use some doublers and stuff like that. So we'll get that done. This will all get cleaned up. We'll be able to inspect everything really closely. We'll be able to clean this gear out really well, and the Saratoga will just be that much better. How are these things looking, Joe? Oh, they look brand new. All right, well, let's get these over to the bench. Let's go ahead and, you know, we'll wash them then with some soap and water. And let's check out the bolts and the retainers and see what kind of condition it's all in. But I think they look really good.
I think we got some good ones, and we got some rough looking ones.
And some rough looking ones, yeah. So, you know, when we were going through them, we noticed some of them, you'll have like a little bit of like a wrinkle down here. And what that is from where it's mounted, the engine's pulling down. I think it shows that it's, you know, it's getting a little wore out. Now, we were going to get all brand new ones. Like everything else, we have to wait for them, and we need to get this done. So we wanted to go through them and see if they were any good, and I think we have a good set of them. What do you think?
I think so.
And I think we also have a good set of bolts, good set of retainers. It's probably half the 402 ones and half the 401 ones, but I was surprised to see how good of shape they were in, actually.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that at all.
Yeah. I did look at the logbook, you know, for the 402, and I noticed that they were replaced not long ago. So that's one reason that they look good, but the big surprise was the 401 ones, because, I mean, if you look at them, I mean, these things look really good. So, yeah, so I guess we're good to go.
I think so.
Yeah, so we're going to get these things, we'll pick out the best ones, and we're going to go over them a little bit closer. Then we're going to go get those 401, 402, 401 and a half engines all cleaned up and ready to put on the 401, which I'm excited.
Can't wait.
So, cool. All right, so we got the Ram overhauled engine up here on the forklift, and we're gonna go ahead and clean it right on the crate like this. We have all of this, I don't even know what this stuff's called, but it's almost like an oil that a lot of places will put on stuff before it gets shipped to and from, like overseas inside like shipping containers and stuff. It's like really good at keeping it from corroding, but it's not the best or easiest thing to get off. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna use some solvent, wipe this whole thing down, clean it up all by hand and with brushes and stuff like that, and then this thing ought to look good as new. Oh, look at that. Would you look at that clean engine? Look at that. All right, so we got this engine all cleaned up, and I have to tell you guys, I know that the camera is not gonna do this any justice. It looks pretty close to brand new. It's in really good shape. It shined right up. We have a little bit of that stuff still left on it, but we'll polish that off here. So we're gonna put this thing down the ground. We're gonna grab the other one up, We're gonna grab the other one, clean it up quick, and then we're gonna get this one mounted over in this right wing. And I don't know how long it's been since this wing has had an engine on, but I know it's been a long time, so.
Is that a right or a left engine?
This is a right engine,
Okay,
I think.
I hope.
maybe. But it doesn't really matter.
No, on this airplane it doesn't because it's not counter-rotating.
Okay.
All right, so this tag had a right hand with a question mark. got both of these engines all completely cleaned up, and I have to tell you, they look brand new. I hope they run as good as they look. Honestly, I didn't know when or if or how we were gonna get here. Let's go ahead, let's hook this into the hoist. Let's get it up that engine cradle, drop it in. All right, I gotta clean these off quick before we put it on. I'm like, I cannot put a dirty engine in the 401. All right, now it's ready to go.
Front's gonna touch first.
It's all tightened up. It's on the 401. What do you think?
I think it looks like an engine.
So I don't know if you guys could see it on camera, but these engines are so heavy. And it still amazes me, although we've been working on 401, 402s now for way too long, when we put this engine down in the cradle, the whole cradle kind of just flexes down. But it's the way they're designed, it's the way they work. It looks really good. Awesome. You're gonna want to hook the hook. There you go. You got it. We just got 2 engines on the 401, brother.
They're on.
Yes. I know we jumped the gun a bit. I know you guys are thinking that in your head because there is all kinds of stuff back here we have to install, but there's all kinds of room to do that as well. We can lower the airplane, we can get them installed. Man, we have engines on the 401. So guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being part of this adventure. Take care. Whipping nay nay. Oh my gosh, I can do the dance. I'm not gonna do it though.
And there's a blooper reel.
Right.